I mean, I'm really inspired by you. I'm proud of the fact that you are a homegrown South African, and you've made it. My initial impression of you when I first encountered your books and your writings was American. But imagine my surprise when I discovered that you're a South African. So what I'd like to know is a little bit about John, because I want the attendees to take inspiration from you, who you are and what you've achieved. So tell us a little about your background, John.
Thank you so much, Bilal. Thank you for the compliments. I really appreciate them. Look, I am born in Swaziland, come from a single mom family. Things were tough when we were growing up. We were always financially challenged, but had a lot of love around the house. And so from a very young age, I was an entrepreneur because I wanted to just get out of the shackles of poverty or not having money around us. My mom used to earn 800 Rand a month. Our rent was 350 Rand a month. So it was tough times back then. But this drove me to become an entrepreneur, and I was really, really successful as an entrepreneur in my 20s. And then I became bankrupt when I was 32 years old. And that was a shock to my system. And if you can imagine any guy that relates his life to the cars, businesses, houses, and watches that he has on him, and when that all gets taken away, you have to readjust who you are, rediscover what you're about. And this got me into the process of really diving deep into psychology and understanding what had happened in my life. And I combined that idea of psychology, neuroscience, and futurism, and I combined them. And together, what has happened with that combination, it's put me in a very unique position because nobody else is discussing these topics at the same place in the same time. And so governments and organizations around the world have really found this interesting and fresh as a perspective. And so for the last 5 years or so, writing books and speaking around the world have become my norm. And it's been fantastic because I think a lot of times as South Africans, we ourselves suffer from South Africanism, meaning that we don't think we're good enough to play there. And so to break out of that mindset, to get into that world has been both an emotional process for me, as well as a secondary relationship process. In other words, just getting better and better at my skill set and becoming more clear about my message is combined together with the emotional state of thinking and breaking out of the African or South African mindset to play in a global world.